Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts with the Fancy Fold Craft Challenge 2023 for this month, December 2024. And this craft challenge was started by Monika Wiklewska, aka Paper Mona, and many ladies have joined her throughout this time that she has created the challenge. And there's Christine from Christine's Cards and Things, Jenny from Jenny Ginger Ninja Crafts, Katarina from Create with Katarina, Carrie from Carrie's Card Creations, Monika from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and we've got a new lady joining us this month who is Emma from Emma Lou Loves. Apologies, by the way, for the smudge here. My printer is leaking. So yeah, you will find all their channels and videos below. Have a check, have a look what they have created, because I think the great thing about this challenge is that you get lots of different takes on the same techniques, on the same fancy fold. And if you want to join in, use the hashtag here to put onto your video, or we've got a Facebook group which is linked below where you can share your makes. So when we knew ahead what we would be creating, but I only saw the name, and when I created this card recently in a video, I didn't realize that this is actually the WV card, and it's called that way because when you look at it from above, you've got the W shape here and the V shape here at the bottom. So basically I've already done this, but I wanted to have a different take on this time, so I've just chosen a different size for the card. This will be a 6x6 card, and the panel I'm putting up, rather than having a rectangular one, I will have a round one, and I'll show you how I work that out. So this panel here I have just cut from a 12x12 sheet, so that's 12 inches by 6 inches. This, by the way, is from this pad. I'm sure I've used that before in a video. It's from first edition paper, the Arctic Wonder. I got that cheap beginning of the year, I think. And yeah, it's got some foiling on it, some glitter stuff, and there are also some plain papers. The plain papers are double-sided. The foiled ones are all single-sided. But it doesn't really matter what cardstock you use. It doesn't really matter what thickness you have. You want something above 200 GSM. But it's really up to you. And this will actually not be a Christmas card. This will be a birthday card. So for the fold, I found it easier to have my measurements from the back, but you can also do it straight from this side. So you want to score at 6. So, and if you do it from the back, you score at 7.5, at 9, and at 10.5, which gives you 4 1.5 inch panels here. But if you do it from the front, which you can do, it doesn't really matter. You score at 1.5, 3, and 4.5, plus that, obviously that's 6, because we're folding it in from that side. So yeah, I might as well do that now, the folding. So this one here, the 6-inch one, is a valley fold, and I'm already seeing here I need to straighten that a little bit out before I burnish it. Especially, I had a trial run earlier, especially with the paper that's white on the back. It does show, which with the pattern one on the back, it doesn't matter too much. So that's a mountain, a valley, and again, I'm not 100% here. It doesn't really matter. I want this really to be a quick card. I'm sure some of the ladies will do some matting and layering. I like the quick version where I basically use the pattern cardstock as a card base. So then we've got the W already. So for the V shape, I have cut 2 circles here. This circle here is 4.25 in width. I was just testing it, how much you actually cover with this, so this will sit on here like this later. So I thought I could see enough from the pattern cardstock, but I've got enough space to put something else on top here. And that again is from the pad. I've got some polar bears on the back, but I wanted the snowflakes. When I glue it on, I might be mindful to not have the polar bears upside down. But because we need a V shape, we need to connect these. You can cut these from one piece and then have basically the connection here. But I like these to be properly round. So all I'm doing is using some of the scrap here, and I'm just cutting a little rectangle. Probably might even cut it down afterwards. So basically got a little strip. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm folding it in half, burnishing a little bit. I will even cut it down a little bit more. So it's probably, yeah, it's about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. So, and this can be my connecting piece for these two circles. So I'm placing them down like this. As I said, making sure the polar bears aren't upside down. I think that's about right. So putting them on the same height, and I'm actually using my grid mat here to make sure they are the same height. And I'm just touching them there, and this is where this piece will go. So the score line will be just where they're touching. So I will actually cut this down even a little bit more, because I can see how much actually connects there. And I'm just using my quick grab glue for that. I could have used some tape. That might even have been easier to just put a little bit of tape on there. But the good thing is with the glue, if you do need to move it a little bit more, that might be easier. Oh, I was looking for them the other day. They're my tweezers. I meant to grab the other ones, but these are fine. So getting this straight as well. Passing this down, and this will be on the back, so you won't see much of it afterwards, but I'm leaving that now to dry, just removing the excess there, and this will be the fold. So for the decoration, I have chosen another penguin piece, but I've chosen a circle die. There it is. So I thought this would look really nice to have that as a decoration, but I was inspired by a different piece of cardstock. Let me just show you this. This has got some sort of glitter on it, and I thought this would be really nice if I glittered it. And for that, just cutting it out, just so enough space around that. And I have got some double-sided adhesive. I think this is a Crafter's Companion one. It doesn't really matter if you've got some adhesive tape. You could even put a few strips across. You just want something that you can stick your glitter down with. So I've cut it generously again to place that on here. Sure the penguins are central. So I'm now going to die cut my penguins from this. I can still see where they are. I'll quickly do this off camera, and then I'll show you the glittering. For the glitter, I have got this distress glitter from Tim Holtz. It's called Clear Rock Candy. It's one of those, I bought it when I first got into paper crafting. Thought I really needed it, and it's great, but I keep forgetting to use it. So if you've got something in your stash that you keep forgetting to use it. It's not going to get any better. I mean, this is not going off, but other things are, you know, if you've got any liquids. So all I need to do now is take the release paper of this. So the top is sticky. Just using my tweezers to place this down. There are a few loose threads. Trying to take them off so they don't end up in the glitter. And then I'm just pouring this on the top. Sure I've covered everywhere. So just setting this aside just for a moment here to put this back in the jar. And you really don't need a lot at all. So, and now I'm using my release paper to press that glitter into that glue, into the adhesive, basically rubbing it down. I've got a bit of a rough edge there. I'm trying to use the other piece maybe. So when I go over that, basically there's a little bit of a thread as well, I think, still from the cutting. I think it's the adhesive. When I cut it, it did come off in threads a little bit, but it's basically more or less shed free. And there's no adhesive exposed. If you find it's still sticky somewhere, put some more glitter on the top, and the more you rub it in, the more it will stick, and it's fairly smooth as well. So isn't that cute? And I like the thing about this fact is, the fact I liked about this thing, sorry, is that you can still see the motif, so it doesn't disappear. So if you've got any sort of clear glitters, iridescent ones, you can use them as well. Coloured glitters probably will be a problem because your motif will disappear. But then again, if you wanted just a coloured piece, you can use the same technique with a double-sided adhesive. So this has dried now, so I can basically fold this. It's still a little bit damp, I think, because it's thinner cardstock, but I will be mindful. So all I need to do now is, let me just zoom out again a little bit, is to stick this down. So I will probably start on the front and just see where I would like it to sit. This hinge, though, I need to be mindful that needs to sit on the side. So it's a little bit of a play. So you see, I don't need to put a lot of glue on this side. So trying to make it sort of even. I'm just eyeballing this. You could measure it. So once I've set it down, I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to flick on the back just to get a little bit of an idea where I need to put the pencil. And I can see it there, but I can't see it there. So it's probably just about this much. So I will use my wet glue then for that. Trying to spread that out a little bit so it won't ooze as much. So, and again, with that hinge on the side, I'm going to place this down here now. I'll tell you what, I'll turn it upside down, I think, so I can see where I'm gluing it. So I'm aligning this on my grid mat, and then I can have this one straight as well, just going over like this. Have I put it on the wrong? Yeah, just was worried that I put it on the wrong mountain fold, but it's the right one. So when you've stuck it down here, you can fold the second mountain down, and then this gets stuck to that side. So I basically need to do the same thing, just mark on the back, just roughly where this needs to go, apply the glue. My bottle's nearing its end, so it takes a little bit longer to come out. So I'm folding this over, and I'm also making sure that these two circles are aligned. So, and then I'm pressing it down here, and I'm leaving this to dry thoroughly now. Because it is paper, it does take a little longer to dry. And also, I've just spotted here, don't know if the camera picks it up, because it's a fairly thin paper, I do have a little bit of a, I don't even know, a mark there where I can see where I've glued it down, but it doesn't matter, that will disappear in the back anyway. So as I said, I'm leaving this to dry, and then I can put my embellishments on. So my first card is almost finished. I stuck this on here. I had as embellishments all these little sort of flowers from my gingerbread house. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to have a look at that. So I stuck those down just as extra embellishments. Some of them want to come off a little bit because they are embossed. And then the happy birthday sentiment, I die cut that from holographic paper, cardstock, and from a white cardstock just to give it an extra layer. It's not even perfectly aligned, but it doesn't matter. And I just put glue on where it covers the circle and the side here, and the rest is sort of floating. And I will, at a time when I find any of my zero dies, I will put a birthday number on here and here. This is why I left these areas free. I have mislaid both my zeros. I hope that didn't end up in the bin, but I've still got a little bit of a mess on my craft table, so hopefully they are there. So yeah, but this is my first take on the WV card, and I think this is really cute. In hindsight, maybe I should have chosen a different coloured circle because this does blend in a little bit with the background, but then at least I know it goes well together. I could have created maybe another mat here, but yeah, it is what it is, but it's a quick card. So I also had started a second card, but I wanted to show you just two little things. First of all, I said earlier that you can use some adhesive tape, which I did on this circle here. But the problem with the adhesive tape is on this side, you've got a little bit exposed, so that can get quite sticky. So what I did was I used my anti-static powder tool and went over that so it's not sticky anymore. And then I realised when I was setting this down, rather doing this thing where you flick with your pencil on the background, I just realised that if I place it on the back before, so I'd still place it on the front, see where it fits. You don't need to have it in the middle, you can have it at the bottom for more space on the top. But if I place it here now, and if I open it up now, still keeping it straight, I can then mark it on the back first. Yeah. Then I know exactly where I need to place the glue. I think that makes it easier to do the back first and then fold the front over. And what else you could do is, once you've sort of know where you need it there, this area is the same you need on this side really. So if I just eyeball this, I could measure it there. I know actually where to put the glue, so I think that'll be easier. So this one I will show you afterwards how I finish this off. I've got the same picture of the penguins, but with this one I managed to crease the adhesive film. So I'm going to place my sentiment somewhere over there. And I'm thinking about choosing a sentiment from this piece of cardstock that was part of the same pad. So I will just put in a snippet at the end of this video for you to see what I've finally done with this. Yeah, if you like this idea, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And don't forget to check out the other ladies' videos. I'm sure you will see lovely variations of this fun fold theme.